Good evening, everybody. I wanted to share this video on how I fight cravings. So I have conversations around food often, especially with my clients. And then I'm sharing how I approach nutrition from an emotional standpoint. But then when I'm having cravings, there's things that I do particularly so that I don't overeat or I don't undereat. And when I am going through a stressful period of my life, when there's a lot of changes, when there's a lot of unknowns, I get stressed, and that's when really a lot of food cravings come in. Now, there are other things that I crave, but this is a G-rated channel, so we can't talk about those things. But I'm very aware of when I get stressed and the cravings that I have. And I don't suppress my cravings. I don't act like they're not there. I don't act like they're a big deal. I first just say, okay, like what's going on? Why am I craving certain things? And then I take a look at the landscape of my life and the landscape of what I'm going through emotionally. And that helps me give like a little like breathing room and slowing things down so I don't impulsively eat or overeat. And a lot of times since I have started fasting in my life, I undereat. And navigating that middle line between the two over the last 3 years has been really fascinating to just like observe. And tonight I'm craving a lot of like crunchiness. Like I want a lot of fried, crunchy things. But in my life in general, I love crunchy things. I love chips. That's why I love chips so much. Yes, I like the flavor, but more importantly, I love the crunch. And this stems back to even in my childhood, I used to eat ice all the time. I was just always eating ice. And some of that is a trauma response, but I also just like the sensation. I'm a person when I work with people or just even myself, it's how do I find the middle ground so I'm not repressing who I am, what I want, my desires, my needs, but I also don't let those things override my life. And so tonight I was just like, I need a lot of crunch. And so I went and I got some of my favorite things that I like eating, flavor-wise, but really the crunch. So I got peppers, I got little carrots, and I got cucumbers. I'm a motherfucking rabbit right now. Now I am going to be eating protein later tonight, but this helps get rid of that initial craving, settle down, pretty much 0 calories in peppers, carrots, and cucumber. And I have a little ranch for some fat. And then as the craving curbs, then I'll eat later on the protein or the meat. So